try to get some kind of curl in my head without using any heat, right? I don't want no frizzes in my head, so I got this down. Right. Oh, I left out a piece of hair. See it here? Okay, so hopefully. Right. So I'll put it up like this. Now, something else I want to talk about. I received something. I think I got out in reference to the. I got out in reference to the funeral, right? And the person I ain't see in ages. So it came out. Let me see. I'm up close. I'm trying not us to be too close. Is this still sun? Okay. We can put you this way. Okay. All right. That okay? All right. So, in reference to the friend, yeah, it was somebody. Let me finish that off because I don't think I finished it. That was somebody that, we was young, very young. Because when I moved into my first apartment, I was 20. I think I was 20. Let me see. 83. I had my first child, which was my son, 63, 73, 83. So I was 20 years old when I had my first son. When I moved to that apartment, I had 2 children. I had my son and my daughter, the one that died. So 21, right? So I had to move there in 85. Wow. So just to explain my wow is that I moved there in 85 and me and my husband separated in 86. And we had a fire in 89. So we actually lived together in the apartment for only a year. We got married at 83. We stayed with my grandmother from 83 to 85. Yes. Because I gave birth to my second daughter, which is my second daughter. I gave birth to my first daughter in 84. February of 84. So I had my son March of 83. In February of 84, I had my oldest daughter, right? February 84. And July of 85, I had my next daughter, right? So 2 of my children was raised up or brought home to my grandmother's apartment, right? And then I got pregnant with my last daughter at the time, right? And she was conceived in July of 85. But the majority of my pregnancy was with my grandmother. And I moved into my apartment, I'm gonna say about April, let me see, July, August, April, May. I'm gonna say I moved into my apartment around May, right? Because I was about 8.5 months pregnant. So I'm gonna say like June. Because we caught a case. So that means my husband had to do what he did to my daughter in about April or May, because I was pregnant. Yeah. It's so crazy when I start thinking about things and things come to me and it open up and it be like, wow, yeah. So was saved. I was in church. I was in church anyway, but I was saved. And yeah, so my daughter was 80. She was born in 85. So before she was born, I moved in my own apartment. And so we was there from 85. So all through 85, 86. So here's the thing. So this friend of mine that I didn't see for 20 years, my husband had issues with him, but at the time, it wasn't really nothing, you know. Nothing ever happened. He was just someone that I would talk to, because, I was going through stuff or whatever. So my husband left. Actually, he left in 86 years. So 86, 87, 88, 89. So 3 years I was in that apartment by myself. My husband wasn't there. He went into a shelter because I had a case, an ACS case, and they told me he had done did the second thing to my daughter. So the first thing, they gave the child to my grandmother, and she was about 6 months old at the time. Came back home, you know, he wasn't supposed to be in the house. I guess this is probably not a story for this morning, but since I'm down that path, I mean, this is what, in order for me to continue on with the story that I initiated from the beginning, I have to go through this scene. So, you know, he did what he did the first time the child came back, right? And I'm trying to think, where was Mary when all this was going on? Here you go. But Mary was there, but I can't. But anyway, so then it went on, right? And then the last thing happened. We got this case going on. From the time that he did the first thing, we had a case, right? It was taken over, it was given to my grandmother, right? The child was released to my grandmother. And when it happened the second time, they told me that in order for me to get the kids back in my house, my husband would have to leave. And I was saying to myself, I said, I don't know how I'm going to get rid of this man because he's very argumentative, and we would have been fighting. I know it would have been in a fight. So I don't know I don't think I was saved, but I was believing in God. And I was asking God, I said, well, Lord, you got to figure this out. You got to, tell me what to say. You got to work this out. Because I was ready to get rid of him. That was enough. You got to go. You got to go. I just didn't know how to tell him, but I was saying, you got to go. So when ACS told me in order for you to get your children back, well, BCW at the time. Back then it was BCW. They told me that, they said, if you want your children back, you got to get your husband out. So I'm like, okay, all right, how am I going to do this? So one day, soon, right, I went to him and I told him, I said, listen, I said, Tracy, you got to go. What do you mean, big argument? I said, well, see, and I was calm and stuff, but when he started escalating, I escalated with him. You fussing with me after what you did? You better be glad I ain't killed you. You better be glad that I believe in God. And even though he forgive murderers, I don't have it in my blood to be a murderer. But somebody told me that a friend of mine, a friend of theirs, which barely knew me, put out a hit on him and was gonna kill him. And I begged the person. Actually, it was my friend that died. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was her. She was like, she called me up, and when this came about is when he tried to kill me. Now all of that was passed off already. We got that. We got the kids back. Everything. This is during the month. I'm still talking about us separating. So this is during the year between 85 and 86. Because he left in the summertime. And Mary was born July, so it was from July. Now, we was already having our issues, but it was from July. Now he tried to kill me because I'm on the phone talking to Kim, the one that died, that I went to the funeral to. I'm talking to her on the phone, and he comes and snatches, he snatched the, the, the foam cord out the wall, and it go dead. Then he come and he snatched the phone. But he didn't snatch it. He slapped it. I got the phone. I'm looking at the phone like, well, he came over to me and slapped the phone out my hand. I said, yeah, now you can't talk to your girlfriend no more. What? I said, Tracy, see, he was at a level that I never saw him before. I saw my husband angry. And when he get angry, he's dangerous. So I ain't stupid. I ain't feeding into your anger so you can kill me. No, I'm not. So I'm big and bad. I'll mouth you off. I'll argue with you. I'll fight you. But I got common sense. So I knew it was time to shut up. So he was walking around the house. Why don't you play with me? Talk to your boyfriends and your... I'm lying you. I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't talking to no boy. I was talking to Kim. But Kim was supposed to be my girlfriend. Talk to your boyfriends and your girlfriends. You think I'm stupid. I know you're going out with her. She's a lesbian. He walking by me. Because we was in the railroad. We was in the railroad flat. So everything is like straightforward. So he walking through the house. Nobody there but me and him. He going in and in and in. And I'm just saying to myself, Lord, please don't let this man. Because whatever I have to do to save my life, I got to save my life. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want it to get to that because I don't want to be doing time because of self-defense. You see what I'm saying? You got to go through a whole lot to prove self-defense. So I'm like, I ain't gonna go through this, Lord. So he back at, what? Yeah. So he must have went and plugged the phone back in. And the phone rang. And he picked up the phone. I went to go reach for the phone because the phone was like right by me. And he came and he picked the phone. He said, hello. So it was Kim, right? Hello. Yeah. Uh-huh. So I don't know what she was saying to him, right? And he was like, you ain't gonna do nothing. So he handed me the phone. Here, take your lesbian friend. So I'm catching the tail end of the conversation. She said, Tracy, I'll come over there and I'll kill you if you do something to Sharon and them kids like that. So I said, yeah, Kim. I said, she said, what's going on over there? You all right? Because they know of us fighting. If y'all saw any of my other videos where I said I would hit him with the iron and stuff and run upstairs and all this different stuff. She said, you all right? She said, I'm coming over there. I said, no, I'm fine, right? Like that, right? So she said, all right. So she hung up the phone. She had to do something, so she hung up. So I'm just sitting there. And he comes out of nowhere with an extension cord and put it around my neck and started squeezing it. And I'm feeling, oh my God. When I think, I don't really think about that, but when I talk about it, that's when I think about it. And it's like the memory is so vaguely, that's not the right word. The memory is so clear, like it was yesterday that it happened, right? And he pulling the cord, and I'm trying to hold on the cord, and he's just saying, yeah, now what you gonna do? What you gotta say now? And I'm like, but I'm telling you, Jesus was on my side. This is why I serve the Lord now for all them things that I went through. He brought me through. Somehow I got my hand in between the cord like that, and I snapped it. And he came to his, when I looked up at him, I got a chance, because he came from behind me. So when I snapped it and it came out his hand, I turned and looked at, he looked it so different. He looked it like I don't know. And I could tell that he came back to himself, that he didn't realize what he was doing. And I looked, I said, you crazy? I mean, I was scared, but I wasn't scared, but I was humble. When I say humble, I don't mean humble to where, you know, those relationships where, oh my God, I'm gonna stay with this man because this man, this and that. No, I was humble and I began thinking. I said, all right, it's time for me to get up out of here. And at that exact moment, my best friend called. That's the same girl that I went to the funeral for, that y'all see me singing to. Singing for, rather. And she heard it in my voice. She said, Sharon, she said, what's going on? And I just started crying. I said, he tried to kill me. She said, what? She said, no, I'm coming over there. I said, no, no. She said, I'm coming over there. And I'm just like crying. I'm like hysterically crying. I guess that's high, what's that word? Whatever, that, high ventilating or something like that. I was trying to catch my breath and stuff like that. And she was like, we coming. She kept talking to me. She said, calm down, Sharon, calm down. She said, wait a minute, I'm gonna see if my sister's upstairs, which is the Tutu, which was her sister. And I'm gonna see if she upstairs. I don't know whether she remembered, anything about it or stuff like that. But I don't know what happened, but she never came down. She probably wasn't up there. However, nobody probably wasn't up there. But she said, all right. She said, I'm getting ready right now. She said, me and my boyfriend is coming right now, Sharon. She said, you just stay right there. She said, let me just get some things together here, and I'll be on my way. So, I don't know. I can't remember how long it was or whatever. My mind was like in a daze. All I could just think about was, I got to get away from him. I said, because he's going to kill me. I said, he already tried to kill my children, my child. So what would hinder him from killing me? And I'm thinking all these things. Now, mind you, I never thought of suicide. Never thought of suicide. But I began thinking that I can't deal with this no more. I got to get away from this. I should have been there. I started beating up myself because I was saying I should have been left. I should have been left. Okay, so that's the best I can do. I was like, I should have been left. Got myself out of here when he did what he did to Tantrum. And I'm there and all types of things. And every little noise, I'm jumping. Right where he tried to kill me at, I stayed there. I was sitting in the dark. I didn't move. He didn't come back through there. He didn't pass me. He came to he came to his senses. He realized he killed me. And he had told me that he never talked about doing that, but he would tell me that he was scared of me. He was scared to go to sleep because he thought I was going to kill him. What type of marriage is that? What type of relationship is that? It's not even a relationship no more. When people start killing you, that's not a relationship. That's a toxic. That is a preparation for a crime scene. Okay? So I sat in that chair. I didn't budge.